Good morning. Welcome to today's gentle chair yoga practice. Today, the class is focusing all on stretching the lower back, and by stretching the lower back and creating space there, let's hope we relieve a little bit of pain and discomfort for you. So all you need today is your chair, a willingness to just let go, literally, and try everything, at least for a breath. So let's get started. Sit comfortably in your chair, all the way back. Really lean the shoulders into the support of the back of the chair and let the back of your legs sink into the seat of the chair, letting your feet connect to the floor. A little awareness of the earth below. When you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, bring your gaze downward. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breath begin to deepen. Let your hands rest heavily on your thighs. Relax your shoulders. And as the shoulders relax, just feel your arms and hands rest a little more heavily on your thighs. Feel the soles of the feet resting heavily on the floor. Feel the weight of your legs pressing into the seat of the chair. With your next breath, let go through the hips and lower back. Softening through the lumbar spine, which is the section of your spine, the lower back. It includes the sacrum and the tailbone. The middle of your back is called the between your shoulders, down below the rib cage is called the thoracic spine. From above the shoulders, right at the bottom of the neck, to the top of the neck at the base of the skull, that is your cervical spine. Base of the skull to the top of the shoulders, your neck, cervical spine. Between the shoulders, the back of the rib cage, your thoracic spine. And then the lower part of the back, including the sacrum and the tailbone, is the lumbar spine. That is where our focus is today. The hips are key here. So building on opening through the hips and relaxing through the hips like we did last week, continue with that this week. Feel the back, the lower back, really softening, releasing. Get a sense of how you're feeling physically today. Here, pay attention to all the messages from your body. And of course, move in a way that feels good in your body, in a way that feels like you're creating positive change, positive space. Release your hands, bringing your arms down to your sides. Take a breath in and just sweep out and up, bringing your hands together overhead. And as you exhale, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm. Release the hands, do that again. Another breath in, sweeping out and up. Hands coming together. And as you exhale, hands floating down right in front of heart center. Let's do that for 2 more breaths. Really reach the arms wide. Feel yourself lean into the back of the chair as your hands sweep upwards to come together overhead. Let's do that one more time. Make this the biggest breath yet, biggest movement yet into the shoulders, into the vertebrae, through all 3 sections of the spine. Pausing, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. And as you exhale, focus on sinking into the seat and the support of the chair. And releasing the hands. Open your eyes if they happen to be closed. And starting, as we always do, bringing a little bit of movement into every joint in the body. So starting with the fingers, wiggle your fingers. Hear all the cracks. Feel all the subtle messages. And then gently open and close the hands. It's getting a little stretch into the palms of the hands. And rotate through the wrists. Go the other way. Bending through the elbows. Relax the hands though. Try not to keep the fists clenched. Relax the fingers, relax the palms. Just working the elbows here. And now rolling through the shoulders. Again, go the other way. Now draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Actually, drop the shoulders down. Let's start by cueing a little length through the upper body. So think about the crown of the head, right the spot, right above the ears, the very top of your head. Kind of push that up. Feel the lift. Try not to squeeze your buttocks or push into the chair. Think of just lengthening through the neck, through the spine. Now, as you inhale, pull your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, roll them back, slide them down. And just bring your hands to the back of the chair for support, just to remind you to keep the fronts of the shoulders back. Elbows pulling back as much as possible. You can feel the stretch happening across the collarbones, from shoulder over to shoulder on the other side. Now keep that. You can feel a little bit of curve happening in the spine, between the tailbone at the very base of the spine to the base of the neck, right between the shoulders. Now take a breath, and as you exhale, draw your chin slowly towards your chest. Just getting a little bit of a stretch in through the back of the neck. You should be able to feel this from the base of the skull, reaching down the sides of your neck, maybe even reaching down between your shoulders. Your chin does not need to come all the way to your chest, just far enough to feel the stretch and to feel like you're creating change in your body. Right? Never to the point of pain in yoga. Just a little bit of intensity. Now lift up. Keep the shoulders pulling back. Keep your hands just resting heavily on the chair here. You can use the seat of the chair or the sides of the back of the chair, just to keep the fronts of the shoulders open. Take a breath. And as you exhale, focus on keeping the left shoulder anchored to the back of the chair as you turn your head to look to the right. So feeling a subtle stretch now into the left side of your neck and out to your shoulder. Breathe. As you exhale, come back to center. Turning the other way this time. Pause for the breath in, still tall. Exhaling, anchoring the right shoulder as you turn to look towards the left. Coming back to center. Release your hands, soften through the shoulders, hands forward, hands resting on your thighs. All right, let's wiggle the toes. Starting out with the obvious joints first. We'll get a little more deeply into the other joints. as time goes by. Now point and flex your feet, just enough to feel a stretch into the front of the foot and a little stretch through the sole of the foot as you flex. Said this before, very good for plantar fasciitis. Now rotate through the ankles. You can do both feet at the same time or one and then the other. Completely up to you. And go the other way. Remember, not going too fast. It's not about speed here. It's about maximizing your range of motion. The slower you go, the bigger your movement will be. You'll start to push your edge a little bit, coming outside of your comfort zone. And just let the legs go, relax, and just gently pull the heels off the floor, one and then the other. Keep the balls of the toes connected to the floor. So you can just relax through the back of the heel, the back of the leg. And just bending at the knees, one knee, then the other, alternating for a few repetitions. Now scooting forward on your chair, getting ready to work into the hips a little bit here. So feet hip distance apart, hands on your knees. Take a breath, and as you exhale, just fold forward, just a gentle movement, and as you inhale, press up. Exhale, when the breath comes naturally, fold forward, hands on your knees for support. Really relax through the core here. So we're not straining through the core, trying to build core strength at this point. You need to soften so you can really explore your range of motion. So yes, we're getting a little bit into the lower back here. Hips and lower back, so interconnected, obviously, because the sacrum is between the hip bones. The back of the hips. Let's do one more. Exhaling, coming forward, and inhaling, pressing up. All right, feet flat on the floor, still sitting towards the front of the seat of the chair. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, right hand comes to the right side of the chair, left hand reaches over to the right. A little bit of flexion into the spine here. Breathe. Now make this a little more active by reaching the left hand up towards the corner. Really lengthen through the whole left side of your body. From your left hip, anchor it down, to your left, the tips of your fingers on your left hand. Now come back to center. Pause. Relax your arms. Just give your arms a shake. A little movement through the shoulders, the rib cage. Here we go. Stretching the other way this time. Breath in. Sweep the arms up. Breath out. Left hand comes to the seat of the chair for support. Right hand reaches over. Just reaching over, feeling a little bit of the flexion in the spine first. Staying here for a breath or two. Now making this stretch a little more active to push your range of motion. So reaching up with the right hand, anchoring the right hip down, deepening the stretch, deepening the intensity on the right side. Try not to hold your breath. Reconnect to your breath every time you shift. Now inhale, come back to center. All right, I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see really clearly. So turning my chair sideways here, continue to sit on the front edge of your chair. This time, bring your feet wider. Hands to your knees for support. So you're really soft through the core. There's no strain through the midsection here. Softness will help release a little bit more. Things get tight when we hold on. So let's let go. Take a breath. Same thing as before. As you exhale, just fold forward. And when the inhale just naturally comes, press yourself up. Do this 3 more times. So by bringing the feet a little bit farther apart, you get to sink a little more deeply, deepening the stretch right into the lower back here where the sacrum is. I can feel that. And down. It's working with your own breath. Try not to control your breath, but let your breath just naturally be what it wants to be. Let's do one more, just because it feels good. And press up. Right leg forward, left knee bent, foot still flat on the floor. Spread your toes on your right foot and anchor your heel. Put a little bit of a bend in the back of your right knee so there's no strain there. Bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand to the seat of the chair. And kind of look to the corner at the left. Take a breath. And as you exhale, think about bringing your right shoulder down towards your left knee. It doesn't need to connect. Use your hands for support. Coming far enough forward, you feel the stretch kind of into your right hip on the right side. Breathe. Take one more breath here. And press up. Switching sides. Right foot flat on the floor, knee bent, left leg reaches out. Land on your heel, toes spread, a little bit of a bend in the back of your left knee. Right hand comes to the seat of the chair. Left hand comes to the front of your right knee, or top of your right knee. Turn your shoulders so you're looking towards the corner, a little towards the right. Take a breath. And as you exhale, think about bringing your left shoulder towards your right knee. Use your left hand for support. Keep the left hip heavy. Try not to let the left hip roll off the chair. Coming far enough forward to feel your belly, your rib cage pressing into your right thigh. And you start to feel a stretch into the left hip here. We're getting into a little bit into the back of the hip. Really on the left side of the lower back here. And press up. Come back to center. Bring your feet even wider now. As wide as the chair, the legs of the chair, maybe even wider than that. And sit tall, using the hands for support once again to keep the lower back and the core midsection really soft and flexible, supple. All right, similar bend as before, except we're going to make it a little bit bigger now. So looking straight ahead, take a breath. And as you exhale, fold forward, stay really long through the back. When your belly and rib cage come between your thighs, then relax your neck and just try to look underneath the chair to behind you. Then as you inhale, lift your eyes, look towards the mat, and press up. When you get a sense that your ears are in line with your shoulders, that's when you lift yourself back up. So ears floating over top of your shoulders, looking straight ahead. Let's repeat the same stretch. Breath in. And as you exhale, folding forward. And then when your eyes reach the floor, that's when you tuck and look behind you, under the seat of the chair. Breath in, lifting the eyes. You see your toes, you get a sense your ears are in line with your shoulders, then you press up. So you're staying long through the upper body as you press up. Let's do that again 2 more times. When you're ready, just mindfully moving, mindfully bowing forward, staying long from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and then tucking to look under and behind. Returning to the long position from the tailbone to the crown of the head and pressing up. One more time. Beautiful. Bringing the feet together, hugging your knees towards each other as much as possible. Left hand to the seat of the chair. As you inhale, right hand sweeps up. As you exhale, right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh and just bring yourself into a gentle twist as you rotate through the rib cage and shoulders, looking to the left. Staying tall. Think of the long line from the tailbone reaching down through the seat of the chair, crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. With your next breath out, release the twist, come all the way back to center. Hands to the tops of your knees, take a breath. And as you exhale, get your elbows out to the sides as you sink towards your thighs. Now round through the back, fold over your thighs. Tuck your forehead in towards your knees. They don't have to touch your knees. Maybe you're here. That's good too. And press up. Right hand comes to the seat of the chair. Left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. Take a breath. And as you exhale, turn to the right, just rotating through the rib cage and shoulder, looking straight to the right. Reconnect to your breath. As you exhale, come back to center. All right, feet wide. Taking a breath. As you exhale, bow forward. Now tuck your chin towards your chest, look down and behind, and now press up. Keep your chin pulled in towards your chest this time. Feeling the stretch into the back of the neck, and then lift up. Breath in. As you exhale, bowing forward. Rib cage, belly between your thighs. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Now keep your chin tucking in and press up. Feeling a little more strength this time through the shoulders. And then sit tall. One more time. As you exhale, folding forward. Belly, rib cage coming between the inner thighs. Chin tucks towards your chest. And press up. Let's come to standing. So turn the back of the chair towards you. A little more height today. Stand a comfortable distance from the back of the chair. Still within reach, so you can steady yourself. Walk your feet wide. Now bend your knees in the same direction your toes are pointing. You want your toes pointing forward, your knees are pointing forward. If your toes are pointing slightly out, try to minimize that a little bit. Think about sitting into your hips. So just pausing right here, using the chair for support if you need to. Now lift up and look straight ahead. So really create some sway here in the lower back. Relax the belly. So as you take your breath in, think of just the belly going really loose. And then exhaling. Think about pushing into the floor with your feet. Now press up. Push down, lift all the way up. Walk your feet in. Feet hip distance apart. Holding onto the back of the chair to steady yourself. Step your right foot back. Straight back, regular walking step. And if you look down, it's like your feet are on two separate skis. So chair is still within reach for support. So both hands on the chair, both legs really long. Now, look down at the floor in front of you, but get a sense that you feel really long through the upper body. Ears once again in line with the shoulders. We're going to keep that. Keep the long spine from the tailbone to the base of the skull to the crown of the head. Take a breath. As you exhale, push with your right heel and slowly bring yourself forward towards the chair. You feel the weight coming forward. You can use the support of your hands and shoulders a little bit more. Try not to have a death grip on the chair, but just let your hands rest there. Now, we did this last week. But last week we focused on pulling back through the hip to really lengthen and stretch through the outer thigh. Today, I want you to inhale and really let go through the belly. Let the rib cage and belly kind of fall towards the floor. Now pull your chin away from your chest and look even farther in front of you. So try not to do too much compression in the back of the neck here, in the cervical spine, but just think about staying long, softening through the belly, softening through the gluteus maximus, the buttocks. The only place you feel the weight at the moment is in your hands and in your heels, maybe a little bit into the shoulders. Now drop your eyes down. Feel the reduction in the curve in the cervical spine. Draw the belly button in, engaging slightly through the core now. Inhale, release the belly button. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Do that 2 more times. Breath in, release, breath out, pull in. You feel the ribs pull in, you feel the belly button pull in towards the spine. 1 more breath. And bend your left knee, step your right foot forward. Feet side by side. All right, here we go. Left foot steps back. Regular walking step. Chair is still within reach. Both legs long. Look down at the floor in front of you, but ahead of you. Right? So not down at the chair, but ahead. I don't know, 6 feet or so. We're all familiar with that distance these days. All right, so take a breath. And as you exhale, push down with the left heel. Sink towards your chair. Just coming a little bit forward so you can feel your weight in your hands. Use the support of the chair to release through the belly, through the rib cage. Softness through the midsection. Softness through the lower back. You want to exaggerate the curve right here by letting the rib cage and the belly fall towards the floor. Just breathe into all that space through the lower back. So there's no reason to be afraid to let go of the lower back here. You've got the support of the chair. You are in control at all times. Now pull your chin away from your chest. Exaggerate the curve a little bit more. Now that you've released and softened. Now bring your gaze down. Minimize the compression in the back of the cervical spine, the back of the neck. Pause. As you inhale, really relax the belly and the rib cage. And as you exhale, pull the belly in. Feel the rib cage weave together. Do that 3 more breaths. As you inhale, let go, completely release. And as you exhale, pull in. It takes practice to really let go. You think you're letting go, and then you take your next breath and you go, oh, wow, that feels so much more open. Now bend your right knee and step your left foot forward. All right, let's bring the feet wide. Let's work a little into the shoulders here. Loosen up after that pressure, leaning into the hands, using the support of the shoulders to stabilize. A little bend in the back of the knees here. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And as you exhale, sweep both arms out to the side as far as you can. See how far out of your peripheral vision you can get your arms. Now reach out, turn the palms upwards, really get into the shoulders. Bring the hands together and let the hands float down. Let's do that one more time. Breath in. Breath out. Feel your hands coming down towards your thighs. Now as you inhale, turn the palms forwards and then up. Now bring the gaze up. Feel the long curve from your tailbone to the base of your skull. Hands together and float down. Release your hands. Left arm to your side, or if you choose, left hand to the seat of the chair for support. Now, right palm turned in towards your thigh so your thumb is pointing forward. So sweep the arm forward and up. When you get to the top, rotate through the shoulder as if you're doing backstroke. So palm turns out. Now use your knees. Bend through the left knee, lengthen through the right, reach back until you come back to center. Same thing. Now turn the palm out when you reach up at the highest point of your circle and rotate. Look behind you. Follow the movement of your hand now. Bring the gaze upwards as the hand goes up. Rotate and turn. Let's do one more. Back to center. Left hand now. Left hand at your side, starting with your palm turning in towards your thigh, thumb pointing forwards. So sweep the arm forward. When you get to the highest point in the circle, turn the palm, bend the right knee, lengthen the left as you turn to rotate. Really maximize the rotation here. Again, turn the palm, rotate. Use your knees to really maximize your range of motion. Now follow your hand with your eyes. Feel the deep curve in the spine as your gaze goes up. Slowly, mindfully rotating. Feeling the full range of motion through the shoulders, the wrist, your knees. Feeling the twist into the vertebrae. All right, hands to the front, to the back of the chair. You're going to place the right foot forward, bending your knee, your left knee, so that you're resting on your right heel. Spread your toes, just like we did on the chair, and put a little bit of a bend in the back of your right knee. Hands holding the back of the chair for support. Take a breath, and as you exhale, lean forward. Keep the back of the right knee soft, and just lean forward. Feel your weight shifting into your right heel slightly, so your weight is a little more distributed between the right and the left foot. Now keep that wherever you are in this runner stretch. Now lift your eyes, look forward. Keeping a little bend in the back of your right knee. So you're going to feel this stretch here. You feel really broad across the lower back. You can feel the stretch from your sacrum out to your hips. And you can feel a deep stretch into the back of the right leg, even though the right knee is bent. Legs fall towards the floor. Breathe. And press up. Switching sides. Left foot comes forward, rest on your heel. Bend your right knee so the left heel connects to the mat. Little bend in the back of the left knee as well. Softness there. Hands on the back of the chair for support. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lean in towards the back of the chair. Feel your weight shifting a little more equally between the left leg and the right leg. Pause when you get a sense that you're, yep, this is where I need to be. If you're saying, uh-oh, you've gone too far, now lift your eyes, look in front of you. Again, 6 feet or so. As you inhale, release through the belly and the rib cage. Really feel softness there. One more breath. Press up. So push yourself up. Left foot tucks under. Walk your feet wide. Turn your toes out just a tiny little bit so your heels are closer together than your toes. You can go ahead and use the support of the chair to drop your hips down. Keep your knees as much as you can over top of your ankles. So your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. A little bit pointing outwards. If you feel steady, go ahead and place your hands on your knees one at a time. Now push with your hands, kind of lock your arms in place. So this will help relax through the lower back, relax through the buttocks. Feel your heels pushing into the floor, right? You can feel your weight resting there. You can feel your weight resting on your hands. Actively push your hands into your knees to soften through the lower back. Relax through the belly and the rib cage, of course. Second nature now. Now pull the fronts of the shoulders back just slightly. Just a tiny movement here, just to open up a little more through the front of the body. Shoulder to shoulder, right across the collarbones. Now lift your chin away from your chest. Look to that spot on the floor that's 6 feet in front of you. If you can, even look to the bottom of the wall in front of you. Feel your weight in your heels. Feel your hands pushing into the tops of your knees or using the support of the chair. It's actually easier with your hands on your knees. Softness through the belly and the rib cage. We'll take one more breath. Now push up. Push into your feet. Rise all the way up. One at a time, turn your toes in. So your toes are pointing towards the chair, straight ahead once again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, right hand comes to your thigh. Bend your right knee. Push into the floor with the left and reach up with the left. So you're leaning towards the right. Reaching with the left hand. Right hand leaning into your outer thigh. Push down with the sole of the left foot. Lengthen through the whole left side of the body. You might feel a little bit of a stretch into the front of the left hip here. You might. Now, if you feel steady, you can go ahead and bring your eyes up to meet your left hand. With each breath out, just think of softness. Softness to the belly, the lower back, the rib cage. Now inhale, sweep all the way back to center. Use the momentum of your left arm back to center. Pause right here. Let's get ready to go the other way. Breath in, sweeping the arms up. Breath out. Left hand comes to your thigh. Left knee bends. Right hand reaches up. So reach up towards the ceiling. You're leaning into your left leg, leaning into your left thigh with your left hand, just slightly. And think of really lengthening through the whole right side. Right foot pushes down, left knee is soft, but right leg is long. Catch your breath. So creating space here between the rib cage and the hip. If you feel steady, you can go ahead and bring your gaze higher up. See if you can bring your eyes to meet your right hand. Breathe. Now with your breath in, the momentum, the swing of your right arm, bring yourself all the way back to center. Okay. Keeping the feet wide, turning the toes out just slightly. Hands to the back of the chair for support if you need to. Bend your knees, drop your hips, sink into your heels once again. One at a time, bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Use that. Take a breath, look forward. And as you exhale, I want you to scoop your tailbone under. Really round through the lower back and bring your gaze straight down towards the floor. See if you can really pull the tailbone in. Feel the stretch there. Try not to squeeze through the buttocks, but just round through the lower back, the lumbar spine. Now take a breath in, bring the gaze forward. Breath out, as you tuck under, just look down towards the floor. Let's do that for 2 more breaths. Breath in, looking forward, breath out, scooping under. Think about pointing your tailbone down towards the floor. One more time. Push into your heels rather than squeezing through the buttocks. A breath in, bringing your gaze slightly forward, finding your neutral pelvic position here. Push into the floor with your feet. Release the hands and let's sweep all the way up. Big breath. And big breath out. All right, let's come back to sitting. Back to sitting. Sitting towards the front of the chair. Hands on your knees. Take a breath. And as you exhale, let your elbows pop out to the side. Fold over your thighs. And now roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Think about pulling up, rounding through the lower back, really scooping upwards, spreading the shoulder blades wide, chin tucking towards your chest, and then lifting up really tall. Bringing the gaze up. Exhaling, folding forward. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Now rounding. Maximum movement into the vertebrae here. Bring yourself up tall. Chin lifts away from the chest. That's the last thing. And eyes go upwards. 2 more times. As you exhale, bowing forward. rounding through the lower back, rounding through the shoulders, all the way up. One last time, coming down, elbows out to the sides, slowly rolling up. Chin pulled in as close to your chest as possible, backs of the shoulder blades as wide as possible, and sitting tall. All right, now let's stretch out the fronts of the shoulders. Now that we've stretched out the back, scoot forward on your chair, soles of your feet firmly planted on the floor. Hold on to the edges of the back of the chair, wherever you happen to be. Now lean forward, roll the shoulder blades back, and just let your whole body feel really heavy. Use the strength just in your fingers, not for a death grip of the chair. I can't show really without turning my chair sideways. Yeah. Turning my chair sideways so you can see. Here we go. So I'm holding the back of the chair, just a little hook through my fingers. Roll the shoulders back and lean into the stretch. You decide how far to lean in. The intensity is always under your control. Feel the deep stretch into the collarbones. Now relax through the belly, relax through the rib cage, because we're getting some real width across the lower back, the lumbar spine. Now if you want to deepen it, just lift your eyes, look forward. Looking to the wall in front of you straight ahead or the floor in front of you. The farther away your gaze is, the bigger the opening through the front of the body, through the shoulders, and the deeper the curve in the lower back. Actually, the whole back, from the base of the skull all the way to your tailbone. Now keep that. Keep your hands anchored. Keep the feeling in the fronts of the shoulders. Now relax your neck, just slowly in control. Don't let your head fall. Looking down at your feet. As you exhale, release your jaw. Now let your head feel heavy. Feel that deep stretch into the base of the neck. Oh my gosh, right at the base of the skull, down between your shoulders. Now slowly lifting your chin away from your chest, re-engaging the neck muscles. Now using your hands to help pull you back towards the seat of the chair. All right, sit all the way back in your chair. Feet on the floor, hands resting on your thighs. Pausing for a moment. Just sink into the chair. The next breath or two, go ahead and close your eyes. Now, just with your awareness, quickly scan your body. Notice if there's any tension at all in the ankles or the feet, the knees. Use your exhalations to help you release any tightness that's hiding anywhere at all, any muscle fiber, any joint that you're still bracing. Relax into the shoulders, arms, and hands. Relax the neck, the jaw, and around the eyes. Let go of the legs. Feel yourself sink into the support of the chair. Now release through the hips and the lower back. Feel yourself fully surrender to the support of the chair. You don't need to hold you, the chair will hold you. Now just find with your awareness, once again, your tailbone, the very base of your spine. Should almost feel like the very tip of your tailbone, the coccyx, is just almost connecting to the seat of the chair. Now lean back into the chair. Sit tall. Feel like your ears are in line with your shoulders. It might feel like you're leaning back, and that's okay. You've got the support of the chair. Now return your awareness, if it has wandered, back to the tailbone at the base of the spine. Relax the shoulders. Now float your awareness upwards to the sacrum, the spot right between the hip bones in the center of the lower back. Now slowly creep your awareness upwards until you think you're right behind your belly button. Right at that spot between the inhalation and the exhalation where the belly button draws in towards the spine. And if it could, the very spot where the belly button would touch the spine. If you could, pull it all the way back. Now bringing your awareness a little higher up through the spine to the base of the rib cage. You might even feel your rib cage a little bit more pushing and releasing into and out of the back of the chair with each breath. Now, one breath at a time, slowly move your awareness up the spine, a rib at a time, a vertebrae at a time. Until you get to the spot, the very top between the shoulders. Take your time with your breath. Take your time finding the spot between the top of the shoulders with your mind's eye. Now with your awareness resting right between the shoulders, begin to bring your awareness up through the back of the neck to the base of the skull. Try not to go in one sweep, one breath only. Take 2 or 3 breaths to get there. Feel yourself visualizing the individual vertebrae as you travel your awareness upwards towards the base of the skull. Rest your awareness right at the base of the skull. Kind of the spot where you feel your tongue pulling into the roof of your mouth. Just exaggerate that for a moment, just to check in to make sure your awareness is where it needs to be, where you intended it to be. And then soften the jaw and release the tongue. And with each breath out, send your energy, send your awareness down the full length of your spine. Base of the skull, down between the shoulders, the rib cage, behind the belly button, sacrum, all the way to the tailbone. And as you inhale, draw your awareness all the way back up, the full length of your spine, all the way up, tailbone, sacrum, rib cage, back of the neck to the base of the skull. Exhaling, going downwards, back of the neck, rib cage, sacrum, tailbone. Inhaling, drawing upwards. Exhaling, releasing downwards. Feeling this full, free movement of communication. Right? Your spine is the channel for the communications from your head to your whole body. Keep the energy flowing freely there. No blockages, no interruptions, no roadblocks. Let's do that for one more breath. Inhaling, pulling the energy all the way up the spine, the breath all the way up the spine. And exhaling, releasing down. Release everything down. Now slide your hands off your thighs. Let your arms dangle really heavily. Feel yourself leaning into the back of the chair. Feel the support behind the shoulders, the rib cage. Let the weight of your arms help you release through the shoulders. Now inhale, sweep the arms out and up, bringing your hands together overhead. As you exhale, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm, hands resting right in front of heart center. Take a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.